Hey guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. My name is Sam. I'm an intuitive. I read for your highest good and the highest good of all. And my channel is called Bolt from the Blue Tarot. I hope you're ready for some cards because I got lots of them. We're gonna start with a crystal card here, just to get a general energy. Who am I talking to? What's going on? Blue calcite. Ooh. You are gripping onto something that needs to be set free. It's holding you back from moving forward in life. Your actions are creating the future for yourself and everyone else. We're hopping right in there today, guys. I was not expecting this right out the gate from a stone that looks like that. It looks so soft and gentle, but its advice is very, very straightforward. Take action to release what's stifling you. Speak up, write a letter, have a healing, perform a simple ritual. Consider how your actions today will impact the future. Do what will allow you to remove your burdens. I release any need for struggle or suffering. All right, so releasing burdens, but also burdens that you're holding on to, like heavy suitcases that you need to put down. Okay. It can be kind of hard to know what this is sometimes. But don't you worry, because there's plenty more cards where that came from. All right, we got some wisdom from the epics of Hind. Eclavia's learning. Oh, I think we've had this one before. So this is a bow person, and there's I don't know if you can see it, but there is a severed thumb on these outstretched hands. Eclavia's learning. Blue calcite. Put you there. Eclavia's learning. Eclavia was a young tribal boy who wanted to learn archery. He sought the great guru, Dronacharya, mentor to the Pandavas, to learn from him. However, Drona refused to teach him, as he did not come from a warrior clan. This, however, did not deter Eclavia. He went back home and fashioned a bust of Drona with mud, and paid obeisance to it as his guru. He taught himself archery by practicing in front of his mud guru day and night. One day, Arjuna, the third Pandava brother, and Drona found a dog in the forest whose mouth had been sealed shut with arrows, yet the animal hadn't been hurt in the process. On searching for the archer, they discovered it was Eclavia's work. Drona was amazed to know that Eclavia credited Drona as his guru. On hearing this, Arjuna became enraged, as Drona had promised to make him the world's best archer, and Eclavia had surpassed him in every way with his self-study. Eclavia is not only remembered for surpassing Arjuna, he is also remembered for being so dedicated to his guru, that when Drona asked for his right thumb as energy exchange for having had been his guru, Eclavia cut it off instantly and offered it to him without even flinching. Wow. What stokes your curiosity? What would you like to learn? Okay. So someone might think that they can't learn something just because they don't have a great teacher or because they're kind of walking a path alone. I mean, it seems like Drona's taking credit here for being the guru, but if I'm reading the story right, Eclavia just taught himself. Some messages. You have the spirit of a warrior. Don't give up. You are specially gifted. The more you practice, the closer you are to winning. Messages like this have been coming out a lot recently, but I feel like you are especially gifted is shouting out at me. So it might be that most people need a teacher for this thing, but you don't. I wonder how closely related it is to this burden. Okay, I'm going to say it because it's coming through. This might even be like, the guru doesn't have to be a literal guru. It could be like a parent that you feel bad about easily surpassing, or like you can do something with ease that they cannot. That's just for like, someone needs to hear that. I don't know that that's the narrative for everyone, but I do think that someone can become self-taught at something, or like you don't need to be, you don't need to go to a special school. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm being pulled to the tarot before the Hollow Woods. So we'll get into the Meliora cards here in a little bit, but I guess we're starting with tarot. I like to go vague to specific, but Spirit might be planning to stump me here with the tarot. We'll see. See what they have in mind. Five of Pentacles. Womp womp. The Magician. Oh, okay. Things turned up real fast. Okay. Yeah, let's see. The Emperor. Okay. Six of Wands. The World. Wow. The Magician, the Six of Wands, the World, the Emperor. Okay. Whatever this Five of Pentacles is, like, if you're unfamiliar with the tarot, this is like traditionally two ill or like poverty-stricken people walking by a church window, and it's at night, and it's the church is lit up, and they could go inside to get some food and some shelter and seek some warmth, but they don't see the opportunity, or they're too prideful, or, you know, often in my readings it comes out as spiritual poverty, but I think this is like lack mindset. Or self-doubt is what I'm getting. Turmoil. Self-doubt as a result of turmoil? Okay, so whatever it is, moving out of that, like all of the action is headed this way. I feel like you are practicing magic. I feel like possibly whatever this thing you want to do that you think you need a great teacher for, or you need you need to be some sort of established figure to do, that you need decades of experience to do, you do not. Like, you could watch a few videos and read a book. Whatever magic you're doing, I feel that you're doing it as a routine, as a habit. Like, what I see you doing is every day, similar time, you're doing this thing. You're sitting down and saying, no, it doesn't matter how you're feeling, right? Like we could skip a day if we need to, but this is for us. It's for me, right? So we're gonna do it every day that we have the energy to do it, and it's not gonna be a forced thing. We're gonna keep it easy breezy. You can't force magic, right? You have to allow magic. We're gonna allow it every day around 6:30 p.m. or whatever it is. There's something magical that you're going about in a disciplined way, a self-mastery kind of way. There's also an aspect here with the Magician and the Emperor of almost like parent-child. It's almost like, but I think these are two parts of you. So your inner child is the magician, right? The one that's motivating you to do this thing that brings you joy. It does. Even if you're reluctant to start it, it brings you joy. And the Emperor is the part of you that researches the thing, that sets up time to read the book, so that when you go to do your magic, you already know how to cast a circle. You already know like how to draw up energy from the earth, because your masculine principle has researched the whole thing, or has set up a schedule, like chose the book and set up a schedule where you read for 45 minutes a day, or an hour a day, or something like that. And truly, like, when it comes to a new hobby, a new skill, the reason I say like parent and child is because it's like neither one will succeed without the other. If it's pure Emperor, there's no joy. I mean, there can be, but it's very dry. It's very adult. It's very stiff, right? Or it's very results oriented, is what I'll say. But similarly, if it's all inner child, then it can be a bit messy, and it might be a little bit inconsistent and distracted, and results won't come as fast. And there's no one to encourage them when things don't go well. So they might quit, because they don't have that discipline. It's really in tandem. Like, one can't do without the other. Let the child inside drive you. And then let the emperor set up the schedule, the routine, organize the resources. When it comes to results, though, you're going back to the child, right? The best results are you having a fun time. I'm getting there's more to it than that. Okay, maybe we'll get into that in a little bit. But I mean, Six of Wands and the World, that's, to have the Magician and then these two in the same reading is just really encouraging. Six of Wands is like triumph, recognition, public recognition. And the World, whoopsie, the World is like, it is the world. It's I read it as the internet, right? Like the massive humanity, open possibilities. It could be like your ability to move out of the Five of Pentacles, that lack mindset, and manifest this thing in coordination with the Emperor and the Magician energies. Like your ability to do this, because this is a balance, it's a dance, it's there's no straightforward set of instructions, and you might overcorrect one direction or the other, but like over time, it's like driving a car. You stop doing that and you figure out the micro adjustments you need to make. But there's something about the degree to which you are successful at doing this will determine sort of your success on the world stage. Yeah. It will determine the degree to which you are recognized for your abilities. Okay, I can dig that. I'm missing something and I don't know what it is. Okay, I'm not missing something, there's just more to be said. So, which is a much nicer way of saying that. And there's some nuance there. I like when I get the understanding that I've got what I needed to from the cards in front of me, and that it might be time just to pull more. All right, let's go into the Hollow Woods. Oh, Hermit's Cave coming right out the front. This is really interesting. I've been using these cards for, what do we think, guys? Like a week and a half? Something like that. Not many readings. I haven't used them every reading, just the ones that I'm called to grab the cards. And, they're essentially a board game. They're not there's no relation to the tarot, or they're not sold as a divinatory card deck, but if you were to go back and watch just the Meliora parts of the readings, because I think I did one brief intuitive reading for myself with these cards before just going ahead and using them on the channel, because it's not like there's anything to study, right? It's not a very detailed tool. It's completely intuitive, the way that I wanted to use these. And what you'll see is like archetypes start to develop. Like they don't take on denotations, but each card starts to take on connotations, like things that it is associated with. It's like when you're looking at a language and you don't know the grammar or the vocabulary, but you start to see patterns. You're like, oh, well, this has to be a noun with the way that it's arranged within these sentences. This is clearly a modifier. You know, a language starts to form. And I just mentioned this, I don't know, intuitively, but all's to say, okay, no, this is what it is. I have a really hard time with the Rider-Waite, the Smith-Waite Tarot. I have a hard time reading it. And I know the basics of the cards. That's not what it is. I think what it is I do best reading them intuitively. And when I'm looking at the Rider-Waite, what I'm really doing is like feeling through it. And because so many people use those cards, I'm just awash in a sea of like such a overwhelming degree of associations, like connotations for these different cards. Like watch different readers and they'll be like, oh, the Six of Wands, that's about coming home. Oh, the Six of Wands, this is about victory. Oh, the Six of Wands, this is about like you're being celebrated or a promotion, or like everyone has slightly different connotations to these different cards. And it's just because like they've worked with this and they've seen that, okay, Spirit is using this card to talk to me in a particular way that's just for me, despite the archetype being what it is. However, what you'll find is like I really like more sort of niche decks. Like this First Occult Tarot is awesome. But it's not one that you'll see. I haven't seen a reader on YouTube use that deck. What I recommend is if you have a hard time, if you've tried the Rider-Waite Tarot and you're like, this, I cannot connect with this. It might be that your reading style is a little different. You might be like me, and you might want a more niche deck, like an indie deck. This, whoops, sorry guys. This is that the same angle as before? This 78 Tarot is an independent, like a little indie deck publishing company. And they work with artists independently. This one has a different artist for every card. I'm not sure that they do that anymore. I think that they might have fewer artists on their more modern decks, but like this deck has amazing art, and you might not like every artist's art that contributes to this deck because there's at least 78 different cards, but what you'll get is like a very rich tapestry of different cards to read intuitively, and they don't have all of the psychic baggage that the Rider-Waite has. Like you won't be sifting through this sea of perception. You'll be working with a much, I don't want to say cleaner. You'll understand. If you read intuitively and you can't connect with Rider-Waite, find yourself a new deck, or even find a deck that isn't even meant as a tarot deck, and just try it out as an oracle deck. try it as an experiment with your own intuition, because what you might find is you get a lot more out of it. Hey guys, video cut out for whatever reason. We're going to keep going though. So yeah, find a deck that speaks to you when the Rider or Smith Waite just seems too loud or confusing or feels like goopy. I want to say goopy. It might be that other decks are clearer for you, speak to you more loudly. Ooh, we haven't pulled this one yet, I don't think. Raven on a skull in the middle of the hollow woods. Oh, we got the paved path again, guys. This archetype, I think we pretty much have it figured out. See if it comes through differently in this reading, but good old Grim Reaper. It's okay, guys. Don't be scared of what you find in the hollow woods. All of this is working out in your favor. It's all rigged in your favor. Okay, that's it. Okay, what I'm getting from this is like, right now, you might be somewhere that isn't ideal, but it is a comfort zone. It's like, I know what's going on here. I might be living in a cave, but I just figured out my sweet kettle setup over the fireplace. And I'm making a home of it. It's pretty good here. I have it pretty good here. And this can be like metaphorical, like maybe you're doing something the same way. One spirit wants you to do it differently, like to push your comfort zone on the thing. This might not be a physical location. This could be just trying something new and you're like, but Sam, new is scary. And I'm here to remind you that all you must do is walk into the new, because the path has already been created for you by Spirit. And they're like, hey, you don't know that if you just went down this road, if you just do this thing that pushes you a little out of your comfort zone, we got you. Like, this is the highest path. But you won't be able to see it, you won't be able to know it about yourself until you've stepped into it. And the Raven, guys, this is Tarot land. The Raven always is on our side. The Raven is always showing the way. And you know, as for the Death card, that's just rebirth. So we're working from our comfort zone into the unknown, or to mixing things up, the way that we do things. What is this with? The Empress. So this is... Okay. Perhaps in the past, you've worked more from this energy of structure and discipline and conquering something new, and less of this energy. and the direction that Spirit wants you to go has you stepping more into this energy than this one. Yes, this is required to get you to the place and to get, what book learning you need done. But once you're in the place, like whatever you're doing is more free flowing. So Spirit, like what I'm being shown is, like, how you just give a child like blank pieces of paper and a ton of crayons, and that's enough structure for a child, right? They can create anything out of that. They can create everything out of that. They can create universes out of that, right? But the emperor might look at a stack of white paper and 12 crayons and be like, well, we should really go to the store and get the box of 72 crayons. I can create more with that. And then gets back with that box of crayons. And they're like, oh, but I could frame this up a lot better if I had some geometry tools. Better go back to the store, and I have to go to a specialty store for those. So it'll feel really good. Let me start to make a list. And like, in all the time that the emperor is organizing and structuring this experience, the child could have taken crayon to paper and channeled like a symphony. They could have created an entire fictional world. So use the emperor energy to get you the blank paper and the crayons, and then let the child inside drive you. There's a song you need to listen to called Rattlesnake, and it's by Rubble Bucket. That entire album is what I personally refer to as a spirit album, because I think the whole thing was channeled. It's so good. It's so good, you guys. Check it out. Okay, so this death energy, like the death card in the tarot, is about like letting this die. This tendency to over rely on the emperor, who will make things look more and more structured without actually making any creative progress at all, if left to his own devices. You're balancing this with the magician. And you're going to be reborn to a completely new way of doing this. And that is what's going to get you the recognition for this thing. Like, that's how you'll become the self-taught, world-renowned archery expert. This would be so crazy if it was archery. Oh man, if you're sitting at home watching this and you're like, the next Robin Hood, use your emperor energy to get the quiver full of arrows and get your setup going, and then get shooting. I want to say get shooting, champ. That doesn't sound like me, but that's what I want to say to you. So yeah, is there any no, we're just going to go to advice. I think we're just going to go to advice. Because it's easier said than done for me, especially, like, because that emperor energy will hijack me, especially if you're on stimulants, guys. And I mean even just like coffee. We can be stuck in our doing principle on stimulants, and it is very stimulating to try to organize things in that fashion. You feel like you're doing a lot of stuff, But from the point of view of spirit, they're just saying, all right, guys, every time I jog the camera, like if I hit the table too hard, the phone just turns, like it stops the video. So lesson learned, we're not going to make any big movements. And maybe that's a message here, that this isn't necessarily a big movement. This could, like, not an overcorrection. This is just like little adjustments. I'm talking to someone who's already got a pretty decent handle on this. This is more of just to figure out like a nuance that you might not have grasped. Okay, let's see what advice do we have for you? Herr Mozart dictating his requiem to Herr Salieri. Wow, what did I say about a child could use crayons to channel a whole symphony? That would have been Mozart. I'm pretty sure that was Mozart. He was close to spirit. So this card is encouraging journaling or writing. This is from the movie Amadeus, which is fantastic. I don't always agree with the Oscar selections, you guys, but I'm pretty sure this is an Oscar winner, and it's just an all-around winner. You have to watch this movie. But journaling or writing is being recommended here in the context of channeling or automatic writing. So a lot of people don't realize that you can channel in a lot of different ways, and the primary way that you channel, or a very useful way that you might be able to channel, is via just automatic writing. And you can look up a lot of videos on this. I'm no expert, but I like to do it in a Q&A format, and you can even like switch between different colored pens if you want, and you just write like Q, question, what's up with this tarot reading? What does it mean? A, answer, like look within, meditate about it. No, but like you can do it in that format. And what you'll find is over time, because at first you'll be like, am I just making this up? And it's like, to a degree, yeah. I mean, it has to go through someone, and it's going through you. So it's going to feel like you're making it up. But over time, it will feel less and less like your word selection, or it'll feel less and less like a Mad Libs, and more like a different person is speaking and you're writing down the words that they say rather than anticipating what they will say. And that's how you know that you're starting to make the switch. It might always, you'll figure it out. You will figure it out. You'll get a feel for it. So that's one recommendation. Any more advice cards? Yeah, there's more for you. Let's see what we got. Okay. Ooh. This is a newish one. Card number 87. This is Grogu. If you don't know your Star Wars, your Disney Star Wars, this is Baby Yoda using the Force to heal Grief Karga. And this is from The Mandalorian. So in Star Wars, there's this concept called Force healing. And that's like channeling the living force, which is like spirit, to heal someone. In our world, it's Reiki and other spirit facilitated healing modalities. Okay, so someone here might not realize, like they might think, yes, Sam, I know I'm a channel, but I'm all mixed up. Like I'm one of those TVs with the antennae on top, and my antennae are all bent out of shape. I can't seem to get a clear message. And a lot of the time, like these gifts come alongside being an empath. And when you're a channel for energy, sometimes you get all clogged up with other people's stuff, like just energies from the outside world. And you can learn Reiki, and you can learn how to channel these energies, and that might be something that you are just inherently very good at. I'm getting someone here is, and you might not know it. So someone here might want to look into getting a Reiki certification, attending the class, like use your Emperor energy to get you there. And then once you're there, you're going to be the standout magician. So I'm Reiki certified, like Reiki 1. I think there's 2 or 3 stages, but I don't perform Reiki on myself almost ever. But I am an empath and a channel, and so energetic cleansing is really important. Like spiritual hygiene is super duper important. So I use a lot of, like, I watch a lot of YouTube healers for daily energetic hygiene, for cleansing, for balancing, and it makes me a lot clearer a channel. It cuts out like so much of this emperor in the negative polarity energy that's just like busyness, the need, like the compulsion to be busy is so much not my energy. I truly don't think it's any soul's energy. It's just like what we're encouraged to do, to the point that we do it obsessively, excessively, right? Like Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh. He's always rushing around, and very seldom usefully, right? And it's all in the guise of like cleverness. But you know, it's like running the vacuum cleaner without it connected to the electricity. You're not doing anything. Anywho, this card contains some recommendations for healers and modalities that can be done at a distance via YouTube. I didn't think this was possible, but I very like tangibly feel energy. And so I can watch a video and tell you like, oh yeah, they're moving energy. They're the real deal. Like if you guys think the most popular Reiki healers, just watch the ones I recommend and see how you feel. Because if you think they're just waving their hands around and making the occasional noise, like if you think it's a show, it is absolutely not. These people have powerful spiritual teams. They've committed their lives to healing via these modalities. And when you walk that path, like you get the help. When Spirit sees that you're dedicated to doing these things, they lend you the resources to do them. So check out Sanne, Sanne, the Witch. She's gosh, I really hope I'm saying this right. She heals in the tradition of Swedish witches, the vulva. I hope I pronounced that correctly. They use spirits of the land from the Nordic countries, and she describes her stuff as like Reiki is a very celestial, light energy, and hers is very like fiery and earthy. She describes it as more blood and dirt than love and light. So that could be of interest to you as more of like a shamanic, earthy, energetic healing practice. I also like her channel used to be called Sareki. Her name is Sara. She's from Spain, and she practices a variation on Reiki that involves some other healing modalities like ancient Egyptian stuff thrown in there as well. But her channel, I think now, is called Apagoda Medicine. She's phenomenal. When she pulls out the Ankh, it's like, game's over, you guys. Game's over. There's also Sarah Hall. So she has these 5-minute meditations with different archangels. And I love those. Like, angelic energy is not for everyone. I understand that. But I love it. I love it. It suits me very well. So that is love and light. But I feel it as a lot heavier. I like a lot heavier hand. I don't want to call the archangels heavy-handed. They're just very powerful manifestations of love and light. Like some of the descriptions of angels from the Abrahamic traditions describe them as like the seraphim are just like fire. They're just like pure fire. And yeah, anyway. So the energy is like Reiki, but much more intense. It's a celestial energy, but it's a lot. Okay, and then there's activations with JJ, and this will be interesting for you because the other ones are just kind of moving energy. They might talk during it. They might make some noises or guide you on a meditation. But she is channeling via light language, and she works with all kind like ascended masters. I really like the ones that she does with aliens, like the Pleiadians. She has a whole series that are dedicated to different parts of the body, and they're healings for these different parts. I have found them to be incredibly useful, especially like during to cope with and adjust to ascension symptoms. It's phenomenal, guys. I don't know which beings are coming in, but and I don't know where from. But yeah, the Pleiadian she channels are super helpful. That's the thing about my journey has been like I'm such a spiritual pragmatist, you guys. I was thrown into the energetic deep end, and then I just had to like figure out what worked, and I kept a very open mind, and I just tried everything. And the things that felt like they really moved energy through me, I stuck with. And I've given you some of the recommendations for my favorites. If I remember, I will try to link these in the description box so that you can just check them out. Let's see if another card. No, we're good. Okay. If you have a feeling that you might be this potential Reiki practitioner, you should go for it. This is such a force multiplier as a healing modality. And you don't have to settle with just Reiki. Like that's just one kind of healing energy that we can channel, one like frequency of it, one feeling. There's lots of different kinds of energy healing. I know that Sanne also has her own like classes. I don't know about the other ones. I mean, Sarah definitely has classes, but I don't know that she must have stuff with healing with the angels. Check out her stuff. Yeah, I suspect that all of these women have something on their websites, but Reiki is very accessible. You can take trainings from lots of different people, and you can do like an in-person class wherever you are. If there's someone offering classes, that can be really good because it can connect you to other people who are energy sensitive. And if it's Reiki 1, they're just getting into it too. So you can find other people along this journey, and you might be able to help each other out. But yeah, try channeling via writing, and try moving energy. Or, start with the healings that other people are facilitating. And if you find them helpful, if you think at some point like, hey, I could do this, why not me? I would echo that. Why not you? Whatever you're doing here is going to be recognized by a lot of people and celebrated. And it's going to help a lot of people. So yeah, just know you are your own guru. Be guided by your intuition. Spirit's got you. When you choose this path, you are so protected. It comes with spiritual power when you choose to do healing work for the collective. And this, healing work just broadly, it can be so many different things. Energy work broadly. When you do it for the highest good, you get so much help. Okay, guys, I have to end the reading there. I'll stitch these videos together, throw it up online. I hope this helps you, and I'll see you in the next one.